All right, y'all. I'm in my hometown of DC. Came down here to write for an award show, but yeah, I wanted to comment on this Pharrell Williams stuff. Jamel Hill and Roland Martin done already tore him up over his comments about politics being a trick and it's divisive and all this crap he's talking about. I can't stand when these guys make so much money that they just become tone deaf and out of touch with what's really going on in the streets. Why would you sit up here and say politics doesn't matter when people like Dr. King lost their lives for you to be able to vote? And why it matters so much that they unaliving people? If politics didn't matter, they wouldn't try to keep you from voting. This man is a father of 4. He cannot afford to be this ill-informed. So they already took him to task about the political comments he made, you know, whether or not politics is even worth partaking in. 90 million people sat at home and did not vote this time. And now look at what we have. So I want to hear it from the DEI portion of what he was trying to say.
Okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? Yeah. And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? The best. Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Yes. Right.
Both. Two things can be true. Both. Because I'm black and because I am the best. Both.
So I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room because I'm the best.
Pharrell, you're not erudite enough to even be having these discussions. You are not informed enough to be having these discussions. Your platform is too big for you to be this wrong. And when you talk about DEI, all you're doing is repeating Republican talking points. You don't even know what DEI is or was. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. People who wanted to be ignorant thought that meant for some strange reason that you could just walk in the door black and walk out with a good job. They sat up there talking about my pilot. I'm worried if my pilot, if he's or she is black, I'm worried about getting on the plane. Since when? Black pilots been going on since Tuskegee. Now you scared? Where are all these reports and all these news reports that black people are falling out the sky as pilots every 2 hours? I've never even heard of one black pilot in a crash. Maybe there's been 1 or 2 or something, but we haven't heard it. But now they sit up here, they take people with very little brain processing skills who are not willing to research anything. And they tell them the biggest lies and they run with it. Why would a black pilot be any different than any other pilot? You have to take the same amount of flight hours, the same amount of courses, pass the same tests, and fly the same planes. Why would your race matter? This is what I'm talking about. They get people riled up over dumb stuff. We are the group of people who always grew up hearing you got to be twice as good to get half as far. Since when did stuff just start getting handed to us? And so I was telling a friend of mine, he was talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. They thought, I don't even know, this is a black guy I was talking to. He didn't understand what DEI was, so I had to break it down to him. And I'm going to break it down to y'all too, so that y'all will understand. Because these right-wing talking points will never sit right with me. And I said, instead of, he needs to understand complex concepts. Pharrell, how about you simply research first and turn off Newsmax and Fox News? Because if I close my eyes after listening to Pharrell, I would have thought I was listening to Bill O'Reilly or Megan, the pedophile whisperer Kelly. So I'm going to have to give y'all the truth about what DEI is or was right now. Because the same people who never wanted to compete for anything are the main ones running with this stuff. So let's talk about what DEI is. Now, it does not guarantee anyone a job just because they are part of a minority group. This is what DEI is. It encourages employers to consider a wider pool of qualified applicants, including people who might have been overlooked before. It works to remove barriers like biased hiring practices that unfairly disadvantage certain groups. It focuses on fairness, but not freebies. It does not force employers to hire unqualified people. It does not automatically give jobs to anyone because of race, gender, or any other demographic. It does not guarantee a job for anyone in any group. What DEI does is it gets you the job interview. Period. It gets you the job interview. It's just like when you're home shopping and you get to walk through an empty house that has a for sale sign in front. It allows you to walk through the empty house, but it does not mean that the seller is going to sell to you. That's what DEI is. It does not mean I'm black and I'm here. Now, where's my desk? I need y'all to realize just how ridiculous this sounds and how ridiculous people ran with the fact that all DEI ever did was allow you to get into the room. Just like the NFL, for those who want to research and don't know, go research the Rooney Rule. ROONEY, the Rooney Rule in the NFL. All the Rooney Rule did was get coaches of color the job interview. That's it. So before y'all run away with this DEI is taking so much from white males, that's never what it was doing. That's never what it was doing. White males could interview too. It's just that more people other than just white males got to interview. That's all it meant. What is wrong with that? And Pharrell Williams, I hope somebody sends this to you. Because you were wrong. I didn't want people to think I got you. You don't want people to think you got the job just because you black. You want people to think you got the job because you were the best. That's exactly what DEI was doing. So Pharrell, cut it out.
That's it.